Hi guys, this is Vineet, and in today's video we will discuss the overview of integration services, which is SSIS packages. So we will talk about integration services packages or SSIS packages. Let's move ahead. Uh, Before you watch this video, please keep in mind some of the points. Please watch this video till the end to gain better clarity of the concept, and if it's possible for you, please watch this video twice. Perform any exercises in your test and lab environments only. Do not touch any production environment or production databases. We would like to know your thoughts regarding our videos, so please share your comments with us. Any suggestions, any special videos you want in any specific areas of SQL Server. These days we are covering the performance tuning videos and the SQL Server integration videos. Apart from that, we are also adding some of the videos related to the database design as well. So we are covering these three areas mainly these days. So in case you need videos on any particular topics, do let us know about that, or maybe you can let us know about your experiences or day-to-day experiences with SQL Server. And you can also let us know if any of your videos help you somewhere in your day-to-day life. Please share your stories. We eagerly wait for them and love to read them. Alright, let's move ahead. We have created some playlists for you to watch. Links are available in the video description area. Let me name some of the playlists. The first one is the SQL Server Database Design playlist, SQL Server Table playlist, Business Continuity playlist, SQL Server Indexing playlist, SQL Server Performance Tuning playlist, and SQL Server Integration Services playlist. I've listed out the videos number against each of the playlist, how many videos are there in that particular playlist. And right now, if I talk about the total videos on my channel, we have created around 163 videos, and number of videos are growing at a constant pace. Apart from that, if you would like to visit my channel page, it's at youtube.com/@SQL Talks by Vineet. Once you visit my channel page, there's a subscribe button over there. You can subscribe from there as well. And apart from that, you can also subscribe. There's a button below this video as well. Click on that subscribe button if you're new to this channel. And once you click on the subscribe button, it will give you a bell icon. Click on that bell icon, select all notifications to get notifications regarding all my future videos. Let's move ahead, and I hope you have subscribed by now. So today's topic is overview of integration services packages, or the SSIS packages. Let me take you over to my notes page where I will write notes. So from this video onwards, I have changed the pattern. So the pattern now will be, I will be writing notes then and there, and notes will be very short. I will not give any lengthy paragraphs like I used to do before, because that may be boring for you to read such a huge paragraphs. I will write notes in very short manner. Alright, so let's start with the overview of integration services packages. So first question that arises in our mind is, what is an integration services packages? Services package, maybe you can say. So this is the first question that may arise in our mind. So what is the answer to that question? So let me change the color quickly. So an integration services packages, integration service package is basically, it's a collection of certain elements. So what are those elements? So those elements can be, let me write those down. Maybe check this. Alright, let's take different kind of bullets. Okay, so what does an integration package consist of? So it consists of control flow statements. Second thing it consists of is not the statement but the elements. Basically there are control flow tasks, which we'll shortly talk about. So it consists of, a package consists of control flow elements, the data flow elements. In addition to that, there are event handlers as well in a package, And apart from event handlers, we have variables, we have parameters, and we have configurations, which is basically a package configuration or task configuration maybe. Alright, so these are some of the elements that are there in the package, and we assemble these elements using the graphical design tools that SQL Server Integration Services provides, or we can build these elements programmatically as well. Alright, so we can add these elements using two ways. I'm talking about the above elements, the 6 elements I've listed. So the two ways are, first way is you can add them using the graphical design tools, maybe tools in SSIS. Second thing is you can add these packages programmatically as well. So another way could be you can add this element programmatically. Sorry about the typos. Let me correct that. Alright, so there are two ways to add these elements. Alright, let's move ahead. So after you add all the elements to your projects, maybe either programmatically or graphically, you then save the completed package to SQL Server or the SSIS package store or the file system. So after our work is done on is completed on SSIS package, what do? We save the package using following ways, right? So what are those ways? So first way could be we can save the package to SQL Server, right? Second way is we can save the package to SSIS package store. Third is we can save a package in file system. So these are three locations where you can save your SSIS packages. So what is package in total? So we have told you that package is a collection of these 6 elements, and we can assemble these elements using the graphical design tools, and can be these elements can be added programmatically as well. So what is basically a package? So if we talk about package, if we say about package, a package is basically a unit of work that is retrieved from the storage locations. We have discussed about 3 locations above. So a package gets retrieved, it's got executed after retrieval and saved. So this is what the package is. Now when you create your first package inside the SQL Server, when you create your first package inside the SSIS designer, it's an empty object. So let me show you how it's an empty object. So in order for that, I need to open the Visual Studio where we create the integration services packages. So we go to Visual Studio. Let's wait for it to open. So whenever we first create a package, it's an empty object that does nothing. So it's basically totally empty package. And basically, in order to add functionality to a package, we add the control flow tasks and optionally one or more data flow tasks to the packages. So let me show you. when we create a new package, it is a blank package. I will show you graphically. So from here you can if you select create a new project from the option on the right hand side, it gives us an option which type of project do we want to create. We are getting integration services project option because the SSIS data tools is installed on this Visual Studio environment. So the type of project we select is integration services project. So whenever we create our first integration services project and we click on next, we basically provide the name. Let me mark it as test project, maybe blank, I would say. Alright, so I've named the project and let me click on create. So this is what I was discussing. If you create this new project, I've just clicked on the create button. So when you create a first package, it's an empty object. So you see the Visual Studio design interface has opened. It has opened a getting started window. In the middle area we have a graphical design interface. On the left hand side, if you see, the SSIS toolbox is loading. On the right hand side we have Solution Explorer, where we see the project as well as the SSIS package folder, and inside that we have one of the packages, package.ddsx, and it is currently open in the middle pane and it's currently blank, right? So by default you get a blank slate basically when you first create a SSIS project. Then what we do? We basically add some of the tasks. So we are on the control flow tab. Maybe we add bulk insert task over here or any other sequence of tasks. So after we add all the tasks and all, we save the packages. And this is basically the gist. And these are the control flow. Apart from that, we can add data flow task as well to a task. So data flow tasks are configured in the data flow tab, right? So if you double click on data flow task, it will automatically take you to data flow tab. So where we define the flow of the data, we add some more tasks from the data flow toolbox. So this is basically a gist what happens when you create a new project. Alright, okay, let's move ahead and let's go back to notes. So I'm pasting one picture over here. Please take a careful look at this picture. So which is basically defining what is a control flow task and what is a data flow task over here. So if you see a package, the yellow box is showing us a package where we have a control flow task, control flow tab, and in control flow tab we have certain tasks, and in addition we add the data flow task like this. We have a bulk insert task and we have data flow task. So inside data flow task, that's a separate tab altogether. In that tab, so whenever we double click on the data flow task, it takes us to a data flow tab where we can define a sequence of tasks over here as well by adding items from the toolbox on the left hand side. So the diagram here is showing on the data flow tab you can add some sources, transformation, and destination. So let me show you in the destination can be added by the destination assistant, sources can be added by the source assistant, and these are some of the transformations. Alright, so these are common transformations, whatever transformations you have to perform with the data. There are other transformations as well over here. So in the data flow task, basically you define the source. So let me show you the data flow picture. So basically first we define the source of data, then we define how that data will be transformed, and then we define the step how it will be loaded into a destination. So this is basically a diagrammatic representation of how you work with the control flow and data flow task inside the package and what are they basically. Now after you create a basic package, you can add advanced features such as, so there are some advanced features available in the package. So what are those features? So let me highlight this. Let me mark this with this color. Okay, so what all advanced features available in the package. So advanced features are the logging features, or the logging, which basically defines how the logging has to be done. And variables are also, they do come under the advanced features. And these features basically extend the package functionality. We'll talk about them in detail in our later videos, so stay tuned. If you have not already subscribed, please go ahead and immediately subscribe. There is a subscribe button below this video. Don't hesitate to subscribe. Alright, so I've talked about some of the advanced features. So these are some of the advanced features that we add after we create a basic package. And whenever our package is complete, then we can configure that package by setting the package level properties that implement basically the security. So after our package is completed, what we do, we configure the package level properties. So this is done when once package is completed, we configure the package level properties, right? So what are these package level properties basically? So these package level properties are, let me take the black color instead. Okay, so this package level properties, if we talk about, we implement security through package level properties. Basically package level properties helps us in implementing the security, and it helps us in enabling the restart of packages in case the error occurs. Basically it enables us the restart of packages from checkpoints. Alright, and it can, these properties can also help us in incorporating or including transactions in the package. I hope you are familiar with the concept of SQL Server transactions. So these are somewhat similar. So if our transactions are implemented in a package, so package will complete as a whole, or it will not complete at all. It will not be a scenario it will complete halfway or maybe 75%. Either it will complete 100%, or it will be rolled back 100%, whatever the changes are made by the package. If in case it fails, it will be rolled back 100% in case we incorporate the package to support the transactions. Alright, we will talk about them in detail later. For now we are just discussing them. Now let's talk about the contents of the package. So we are going into another topic area, which is contents of the package. Let's talk about them. So what are various contents of the package? So if we talk about them, the contents of the package are task and containers, so which are basically available on the control flow tab and also on the data flow tab as well. So earlier we have taken you through an overview of the SQL Server Integration Services Designer interface. So this is the control tab and this is the data flow tab. Similarly, we have other tabs for various purposes. So this is a control flow tab and it has tasks. So you can watch out my earlier video in case you are looking at this video. I think first you should complete the previously created videos in the integration services playlist, where you will find the walkthrough of the SSIS Integration Services Designer interface, where we have talked about all these design items. Now let's go back to our notes. So I'm talking about the contents of the package. Let's take it on the next page. So what are various contents of the package? We have task and containers on the control flow tab. So if you look at the control flow tab, on the left hand side you will see a series of tasks like bulk insert task, FTP task. Apart from that, we have some container like for loop container, sequence container, etc. So these are the items available on the, we have task and container items in a package which are available on the control flow tab. Apart from that, we have data sources and destinations which are available on the data flow tab. So within the integration services designer, SSIS designer, if we go to the data flow tab, here you will find the destination assistant and source assistant through which you can create the data sources and data destinations. So we basically add the source assistant to define the data source over here. So we have just added the task. Here we are just discussing, we are not doing any practical. So basically what I am showing you is how you can use the items to add the sources and destinations. I'm just discussing the concepts, not doing any practicals here. So source and destination assistant are used to define the source and destination of the data. So data sources and destinations can be the content of the package, and these are available on the data flow tab. Alright, and apart from that, we have connections manager, which are basically connections maybe to the sources and destination of data. Alright, so you can see the connections manager over at the bottom area on the data flow tab as well as the control flow tab. This is the common area where you can define any of the connections to any of the sources or the destinations. Alright, so we add connections to the SSIS project. So these are one of the items or contents of the package. So let me talk about each of these items in detail now. Let's talk about the tasks and containers. Alright, let's make it a little bolder. Alright, let's talk about the task and containers. Let's put out a list. Alright, so give me a minute, guys. Okay, let's talk about task and containers. So basically they are available on the control flow tab. And if we talk about task and containers, basically control flow, if we talk about control flow here, it consists of one or more tasks. So one or more tasks can be created on the control flow tab, and containers can also be added that execute when the package runs. So tasks executes when package runs. Alright, okay, and how do we basically define the data flow? So we can create multiple tasks in a package, right? How do we make sure that this particular this task execute first and the other task will execute next? So we basically define that flow using the precedence constraints. So let me write that, precedence constraints. And what is the role of this precedence constraint? It basically defines the conditions for running the next task or container in the package. Alright, package control flow. We basically use these precedence constraints to connect the task and container in a package, and it is used to connect tasks and containers in the package. Let me quickly show you how you can connect two tasks. So for example, we have two tasks over here on the control flow tab, a bulk insert task and a data flow task, which can be added from the left hand side menu by dragging and dropping. So if I want to connect the bulk insert task to a data flow task, so we want that first bulk insert task will execute and then the data flow task should execute. So if I select a task, we see a precedence constant, which is a green color arrow, this one, that you can drag and put it to a next task. So you see, we have defined a green color precedence constant, which is showing success at present. If the bulk insert task succeeds, then only the data flow task will execute. Similarly, we have another colors for other type of precedence constant. So this the green color is for success precedent constant. Similarly, we have red color for the failure precedent constant. So these precedent constant basically define the conditions, which is basically a success, failure, etc. These are the conditions, and on the basis of that, it also defines what would be the next task if certain conditions happen, or if a certain task succeed, what will be the next task that is in execution or in queue. It defines that. So you got the idea of precedent constant, guys. So these green color lines are called precedence constants. All right, and basically these lines connect the task, and if we have containers, they can connect containers as well, and the containers can be added from the left hand side. So what is a container? A container is basically used to group various tasks. So we can create a container and we can create various tasks inside it. So it's a basically grouping of tasks inside a container, and we can connect to containers via the precedent constant as well. So that can be done. Alright, now let's go back to notes. So we have discussed about the precedent constants. Now a subset of tasks and containers can also be grouped and run repeatedly as a unit within the package control flow. So yeah, that's pretty much clear. So we can group certain tasks, and containers as well can be grouped as well. So basically, why do we group the task and containers? Basically to run them repeatedly as the unit within the package control flow. Alright, so let's move on to data sources and destination, which is the next item or next content of the package. So let's talk about the data sources and destinations on the data flow tab. So data sources and destinations on the data flow tab, right? Let's make it bold a little bit. Alright, so let's talk on data sources and destinations, so which basically we define on the data flow tab. If we double click on the data flow task, it takes us to the data flow tab. Now our data flow consists of the sources and destinations, so which can be added via the destination assistant and source assistant. So this data flow task basically consists of sources and destination, that we basically extract the data from the sources and loads the data to the destination, and in between source and destination we transform the data using the various transformations available on the left hand side. These are transformations, and these are also other kind of transformations. We basically transform data between the source and destination. After extracting it from source, we transform the data and then load the transformed data into the destination. Alright, so what are the data source and destination? So basically data flow consists of sources and destinations, and we extract data from sources and load that data to the destination, right? And in between extract and transform, extract and load steps, we transform that particular data. So this is basically the gist. You can note it down. Transform that particular data. It's up to us whether we want to transform or not, but basically the transformation steps generally comes between the extract and the load steps. That's basically the gist. Now, all right. So what are transformations? Let's discuss on that. What are transformations? So transformations basically modify the data or maybe extend the data. So basically by transformations we basically modify the data, and after that we load that data to the destination. And before we can add the data flow, and before we can add any of the steps here on the data flow tab, right, the control flow tab must contain this particular task, the data flow task. Otherwise you will not be able to create anything on the data flow tab. If this task is missing, you cannot create anything on this tab. So first you need to add the data flow task to the control tab, then you double click on this task to take, which will take you to a data flow tab to add any sources and destination and transforms. You can add it over here. Alright, so your control tab should contain a data flow task, right? And this data flow task is basically is an executable. So let's talk about the data flow task. A data flow task is an executable, right, within the SSIS package, and that basically creates orders and runs the data flow. So basically if we talk about the this particular item, this is an executable item within the SSIS package, and basically this creates orders and run the data flow. This item runs the complete data flow. Alright, and whenever this item executes, a separate engine instance of, or maybe we can have more than one data flow task in a control flow tab. So whenever a particular instance of that data flow task executes, it creates a separate instance of the data flow engine which gets opened for each data flow task in a package. So if there are multiple data flow tasks in a package, multiple instance of data flow engine may open up in the background to process the data. So this is basically the concept. Let's come back. A package can have multiple data flow tasks as well. This is one of the points, and another point could be a separate instance of the data flow engine opens for each data flow task. There can be more than one data flow tasks in a package, and each task can open up basically opens a separate data flow engine for processing of the data flow item. So guys, we are done with the data sources and destinations item or content. Now let's talk about the connections manager briefly. Let me copy this out over here, and let's discuss about this item. Let's remove this. Now this will be a heading. Alright, let's talk about the connections manager. Now if we talk about connections manager, so let's start. So if we talk about a package contains at least one connection manager. So at least one connection manager is required for the package. And what is a connection manager? Let me define that. So a connection manager is basically a link between a package and a data source. So it's basically a link to some data sources or data destinations, right? So a connection manager is basically a link between a package and a data source. And this connection manager basically defines the connection string. It creates a connection string that is required to connect to the data source. Alright, maybe for accessing the data from the data source, we can say. And it basically connects to the data source for accessing the data that the tasks will use or transformations will use. And basically we will say that this data provided by connection managers will be used by what use them, tasks, and what other items, transformations can also use that data. Alright, so these items can use the data. In addition to that, event handlers, there's an event handlers tab as well that can also use this data provided by the connections manager. Now, if we talk about the integration services, it includes connection types for data sources such as text and XML files. It has connectors for connecting to relational databases. So, connection types can include connection to text files, XML files, maybe the relational databases. Yeah, these are mainly three items. So guys, we are done with the connections manager topic. I hope you got the idea. So connections manager come under this area. Connections manager, we basically right click over here and select the type of connection we want to make. There are various type of connections available over here, like new LDB connection, new flat file, and other type of connections are available. So we create that using, maybe we can create a new connection if we want to create any other type of connections other than the one listed above. So this is basically a gist of the connections manager. I hope you get the idea of connections manager, what they are. We are not covering any practical in this video, but yeah, we will cover it later on. So you need to stay in tune and you need to subscribe to the channel. If you want to get the notifications regarding my next video, please do subscribe to the channel immediately. Alright guys, so let's now talk about the objects that extend the package functionality. So far we have discussed about the contents of a package, which are basically task and container, data, source and destination. We talked about the connection managers. Now there are objects that can extend the package functionality. Let's talk about them. What are these objects? Let me color it separately to define it as a heading. Let's take it as brown color. Okay, now let's talk about this. Let me save it as overview of SSIS packages. Alright, saved. Now time to save. Okay, it's saved. Now packages can include the additional objects that provide the advanced features or extend the existing functionality of the package. So these, what are these objects basically? Let me define some of them. So some of these objects include that extends the package functionality, and these objects include like event handlers. We can define event handlers in a package, and we have configurations which can be set in a package. We have logging, which we can enable for a package, and apart from that we have variables in a package which can be used. Now let's talk about each of these items in detail. So first let's talk about the event handlers. Now let me make that bolder a little bit. Okay, let's talk about event handler. So what is an event handler? So an event handler is basically a workflow. right? That runs in response to a particular event. All right. So it's basically a series of tasks that run, or maybe you can say a workflow that runs. When does it run? It runs in response to a particular event that is raised by a package. Maybe what all item raise the events? Packages can raise event. Tasks can raise event. A task can raise event, or a container can also raise a particular event. So whenever these items raise an event, the associated event handler gets executed, and it has a series of tasks that it executes. Now let me give you an example of this. Basically, we could use an event handler to check disk space. Maybe an event handler to check check disk space. And this is an example, I would say. Let me take that as an example. So we can define an event handler to check the disk space, maybe during the pre-execution event, or if an error occurs. So these are the two events we have when the error occurs. So the pre-execution event and the error is another separate event. So we can define an event handler for that particular events, like the pre-execution event or the error events. And one of the examples can be, we can create a disk check event, check disk space event. We can, this is a task, the check disk space is a task, so let me include it within the codes. So for example, we can create an event handler to check disk space during the pre-execution event or an error event that may occur in the package. And after this event occurs, whenever these events occur, we may configure it to send email. We can configure these events to send us an email, right? Whenever we see there is a failure, or there's a shortage of disk space, we can configure event handler in such a way that it should send us an email message that reports the available space, maybe available disk space, or maybe the error information, right? Maybe to us or to an administrator it can send. So these are basically how the event handlers are defined. We are just discussing it theoretically over here, not doing any practicals. Practicals we will show you later on how to create all those event handlers and all. So you need to stay in tune. It's a step-by-step process, guys. You need to go through all the videos in the SQL Server integration services. There's a playlist. Go check out that playlist. The link is there, given there in the video description. Go to that playlist, start watching that playlist from video number 1, and go in the sequence if you want to understand SSIS in a better way. So this is, I think, maybe a 10th or 11th video on this series. So you need to watch all the videos in sequence. I have defined various other videos as well before this video, so you need to go through that as well. So here I'm just giving a gist of what an event handler is. Now this I have just given an example, right? So basically, event handler is also constructed like a package within the control flow and optional data flows. Event handlers can be added to individual tasks as well, or containers in a package as well. So where all the event handlers, so let me write that item. So an event handler can be constructed in a package. So we define constructed like a package. It can be constructed like a package with a data flow, with a control flow. and optional data flows. So basically, if I show you within the SSIS designer, the event handlers are created on this tab. So we add various control flow and data flow items that we'll talk about later. And basically, we define the here for which particular item we are trying to create event, and then we define the then we select a particular event for that particular item. And after you define both the items, the executable and the event handler, we click here to create an event handler for that executable item that we have selected. So far we are not covering this practically, but giving you a gist. I've shown you from where you can create the event handlers, but right now we are not showing how you create those. So basically we are telling that event handler can be constructed like a package with a control flow. So these are the items of the event handler. It can have a control flow, it can have an optionally data flow as well, and where it can be added. And an event handler can be added to individual tasks. So it can be added at task level, or it can be added at the container level if we have one in the package. So if you see it here, to which all items we can add event handler. So we can add it to a package, we can add it to a package executable, we can add it to an individual task as well. Alright, so these are three items. We can add it to a package, we can add it to an executable. Under executable we can select a task, and we can define individual event handlers for task as well. So this is basically a gist of how the event handlers can be defined. Alright, and where they can be defined, with which particular items they can be defined. Now so first item is done. So we were talking about the objects that extend the package functionality, and we have discussed thoroughly about the event handlers. Now let's talk about the configurations item. So this item, configuration item, also extends the package functionality, I would say. So let's talk about this configurations item. So what is a configuration? So a configuration is a set of property value pairs, right? So this is what the configuration is, and basically this defines the properties of packages and tasks. Containers can also have configurations, variables, connections, and event handlers as well when the package run. So configuration is basically a set of property value pairs, right, like we discussed, and it basically defines the properties of packages, tasks, containers, and various other items when the package runs. So when a package runs, package configuration can be modified as well. Now what's the benefit of this using the configuration? It makes possible, basically the configuration makes possible to update the properties without modification of the package. So configuration can be defined, changed at the runtime as well. Now when the package run, let me give you just what happens. So when a package runs, right, the configuration information gets loaded, which we define, alright, and when this configuration information gets loaded, it updates the properties of package items, maybe, right? So configuration basically provides us a way where we can change the properties of a package without actually modifying the package itself. right? For example, a configuration can update. Let me give you an example. A configuration can update the connection string of connection in a package, right? Otherwise, what do we have to do if we have to modify a connection string in a package? We need to open the package in SSIS and then modify the connection string. For that, we need to change the package and again save it. So if we want to avoid that task to change the package every time a little bit of information gets changed, so configurations provide us a way to change that information at runtime only. So through configuration, we can change certain properties of a package at runtime. So that gives us the flexibility, right? Now let's talk about another thing. So the configuration is saved. So configuration is saved first and then get deployed and then deployed with the package, right? When the package is installed on different computer. So if we move a package to a different computer, the configuration information gets saved and it moves on along with the package to the different computer. Alright, and the values in the configuration can be updated. So once the package is installed to a different computer, we can update the configuration values at that time once the package is installed to support a package in different environment. So once we deploy a package to a different environment, we can change its configuration properties as per the environment. So that's basically just, I hope you get the idea of the configurations that basically extends the package functionality, guys. Now let me go to the next item quickly, which is basically the logging, and logging is provided by the log providers. So let's discuss on this topic. Let's take it on next page. So next topic is logging and log providers. So logging is basically provided by the log providers, and let me make this bold. Alright, so let's discuss about logging and log providers. What are they? So basically, if we talk about the log, a log is basically a collection of information. I would say, right? Information about what? About a package, maybe. And this information is collected at package runtime, right? When the package runs, logging gets invoked. If it is defined on the package, it gets invoked, and all the information about the package is collected at that time in the log files. Now let me give you an example quickly. A log can provide us the start and finish time, maybe, for a package run, right? This is one of the examples. And a log provider defines the destination type and the format. So now let's talk about the log provider. What is a log provider? A log provider basically defines the destination type where the log will be saved, basically. Maybe where the log will be saved, and also the format in which the log will be saved. And this format is used by the package, maybe its container and task, to log the runtime information. So log provider basically gives you the destination type and the format in which the log information will get saved, and this log providers can be used by packages, tasks, and container. So log providers can be used by packages, tasks, and containers to log the information during package runtime, right? Alright, the logs are associated with the package, but the task and container in a package can log information to any package log. So basically, where are the logs get associated? Logs are associated with the package, with the package, and not with the tasks and containers. So logs are tied to the package and not to individual tasks or containers. But these tasks and containers can log their runtime information to any package log, right? Although they are not tied to individual task and containers, but yeah, task and containers within the package can write the logging information to that log which is associated with the package itself. All right, and there are various types of log providers available in SSIS or integration services for logging. All right. Now, let me give you an example. The integration services include log providers for SQL Server. Maybe let's give an example here. Maybe log providers for SQL Server. All right, and maybe for text files as well. We have log providers, and we can create our own. Custom log providers as well. So you can create our custom you can create your own custom log providers as well, and use them for logging purposes. All right guys, so we are done with the logging and log providers, just to give you an idea of what the logging is and what the log providers are. Now let me cover the next topic, which is basically variables, and after variables we have parameters as well. That item is omitted. Now let me take the next item, which is variables. Let's discuss on them. What are variables? Let's take this item. Okay, make it maybe bolder. Okay, now let's talk about variables. So we talk about variables. We have system variables in integration services, and we have user defined variables as well. So these are the two type of variables available in SQL Server integration services. Now if we talk about system, sorry guys, now if we talk about the system variables over here, what do? They provide useful information about package objects at runtime. So the use of system variable is to provide the useful information about the package objects at runtime. And the user defined variables, if we talk about, they support custom scenarios in packages. So these are the role of the system variables and user defined variables in a particular package. And both type of variables can be used in expressions. We will talk about expressions later regarding SSIS projects. They can be used in scripts and for configurations as well. We can use these variables. Alright, so these are the places where these variables can be used, and these package level variables include the predefined system variables available to a package and the user defined variables with the package within the package scope. So yeah, we have discussed that. So An SSIS project consists of two type of variables, which are system variables and user defined variables. Now let's come to the next topic, which is parameters, and which is also an object that extend the project properties. This is what it is. So this is one of the items that extends the package functionality, not object properties, but it extends the package functionality. We can use parameters to extend the project functionality or package functionality. Now let's talk about parameters. Now, what is the use of parameters? So parameters basically allow you to assign values to properties within packages. So whenever a package is called, we can push parameter. We can call a parameter, the package with the parameters, certain parameters, and basically those parameters will be used to assign values to the properties within the package at the time of package execution, right? And we can create basically project parameters at the project level. So there are two type of parameters: project parameters that can be created at project level. So a project can include an integration services project as well as any other kind of projects as well, right? So project parameters are there as well, which include solutions from various areas, including integration services is one of the solution type. So there are project parameters which can be created at the project level, and apart from that, there are package parameters as well that can be created at the package level. Now, what is the use of project parameters? They are used to supply any external input, maybe, to the project, right? Or to one or more packages inside the project. Alright, so the use of project level parameters is to supply an external input to a particular project or to one or more packages inside the project as well, right? Package parameters basically allow you to modify package execution, right, without having to edit and redeploy the package. Alright, so we can use certain package level parameters to modify the package execution. That basically provides us some flexibility where we don't have to edit and redeploy the package. Now let's go to a different topic altogether. So this topic is basically package properties. So we are talking about the package properties here that will support extended features. So there are certain package properties that support the extended features in a package. We will talk about that. So give me a moment, guys. Okay guys, let's cover the topic package properties that supports the extended feature of package. Now what we can do, we can configure a package object to support features such as restarting the package at checkpoints. So let me talk about some of the features which can be configured to support extended features. So one of the feature is that we can start packages at checkpoint. That is one of the features. Now another feature is we can sign a package, maybe not maybe, but yeah, we can sign a package. What we can sign it with? We can sign it with the detail certificate, right? And after signing it with the detail certificate, so this is one of the features, we can sign a package with a detail certificate. We can set the package protection level as well, right? And so protection, what's the issue with the spelling? Okay, we can set the package protection level. Okay, this is another feature we can set off, and we can use transactions on a package to ensure data integrity. Alright, so these are 4 features which can be used. Now let me discuss them one by one. So let's start with restarting packages from a checkpoint. Let's make this little bolder. Okay, now let's talk about restarting the packages from the checkpoint. So basically, if we talk about package here, our package includes the checkpoint properties. So what is the use of these checkpoint properties? We can use checkpoint properties in a package to restart the package from the point of failure. From the point of failure, we can say, or we can start it from a particular task or something where the checkpoint is. Alright, so that's basically the use of checkpoints. Now let me give you an example for this. For example, if we have a package, if we have a package that has 2 data flow tasks, let's say we have 2 data flow tasks in our package that update 2 different tables. Alright, and the second task fails when we run the package. Alright, so when this second task fails, the package, if we use the checkpoint feature, the package can be rerun from task 2 or rerun from second task, we can say, without repeating the first data flow task. Alright, so basically this saves time. So basically restarting a package can save your time. Particularly for we can say long running packages where packages takes more time to complete, and if some of the tasks fail within the package, if we don't use checkpoint, and if we rerun the package, it will start from scratch, it will complete every task. But yeah, if we are using the checkpoint feature, then it will start up from the task which fails. So that will allow package to take less time to complete its execution. So basically, what do we mean by restarting? So restarting means we can restart the package from the failed task. Alright, instead of having to run the whole package again. Let's just say rerun the whole package. So guys, this topic is done. We have talked about this restarting packages features. Now let me come to next package property. that supports the extended feature, and that property is usage of digital certificates or to secure the packages. So let's go to next topic, which is using digital certificates to secure packages. Let's make it bolder. Alright, let's cover this topic. So we all know that a package can be signed with the digital certificate, right? Okay. Or a package can be encrypted as well by using a password or a user key maybe. So encryption can be done, or and it can also be signed with a digital certificate. So what's the use of a digital certificate? A digital certificate basically authenticates the source of the package. That's the use of digital certificate. It basically specifies from where this package got generated, and that defines the source. Also, in addition to signing the packages with digital certificate, uh, we can configure the integration services to check the digital signature on the packages. Right? Check the digital signature on packages while loading them. This can also be done, and there's a setting to do the same, and we will talk about that later. Now this topic is complete. Let me move on to next point, which is setting the package production level. So I think this is done, and we have talked about signing the digital certificate. Now let's just talk about the transactions, supporting transactions basically. So let's cover the supporting transactions property. Okay, let's start. So basically a transaction is an attribute we can set on a package. So basically a transaction is an attribute which can be set on a task, or we can say a transaction attribute on a package. So transactions are enabled at the package level. It basically enables so a transaction attribute, if it is turned on a package, it basically enables tasks, and we have containers, and we have connections in a package to join the transactions. So the purpose of this point is that if a transaction is enabled on the package, any of the tasks within that package, or any of the containers within the package, or any connections within the package, basically they get enabled to join the transactions. Alright, so basically what is the use of this transaction attribute? So transaction attribute basically ensures that the package and its elements, which are tasks, containers, and connections, succeed or fail as a unit. So that there shouldn't be a partial commit of a package. Either a package should completely make the changes, it should not be doing any partial changes and fail somewhere in the middle. So transaction basically ensure that whether it basically ensures that package elements succeed or fail as a unit. Alright, and packages can also run other packages, so that is also the feature. So one package can invoke another package, and also they can enroll the other packages in transactions as well, right? So that you can run multiple packages as a single unit of work. Alright, so guys, this topic is complete. We have talked about support for the transactions, and basically we have covered the package properties that supports the extended features. So we have talked about 3 or 4 properties. Now let's go to another topic, which is custom log entries available on the package. So let's talk about the custom log entries available on the package. So this is a different topic, so let me select that. Okay. Let me highlight it and mark it with another color. Okay, this is marked, guys. Let's move ahead and select the black color over here. Let me write some notes. So we are talking about the custom log entries that are available on the package. So some of these log entries are package start, and then we have package end, and then we have diagnostic. These 3 are the custom log entries. Now let me talk about each of them individually. So what is package start? So this log entry basically indicates that the package began to run, or it has started, and this entry is automatically written to the log. Alright, and we cannot exclude this entry, so it will always show up on the log files. Okay, we are done with package start. Now another log entry is package end. Let me discuss what it signifies. So basically this indicates that the package is completed. Alright, so it indicates the end of the package, so indicates that the package is completed. It indicates with the timestamp, and this entry is also automatically written to the log. I can copy it from here. So this entry is automatically written to the log and we cannot exclude it. Now let's talk about the diagnostic, which is basically a custom log entry, the diagnostic entry. So what does it signifies? So it provides the information about the system configuration we have that basically affects the package execution. So it shows us the configuration information basically that affects the package execution, such as number of executables tables that can run concurrently. So this is one of the configuration settings, the number of executables that can run concurrently. This is one of the configuration settings, and diagnostics entries basically show all the configuration settings. So let's talk about setting the properties of a package. So any properties of the package can be set in the properties window of SQL Server Data Tools, or programmatically as well we can set. Alright, so let's talk about this. Set the properties of a package. So if we talk about this topic, so this is also a new topic. So this can be set either can be set using the properties window. SQL Server Data Tools. In SQL Server Data Tools, we can use properties window to set the properties, and they can be set programmatically as well. So this is also done. Okay, let me open Visual Studio because it is closed. Yesterday we were working on one of the projects. Okay, so once it launches, I will cover the topic. I will show you the properties window where we can configure the properties of a package and properties of the object. Let's wait for it to open. And after that, I will cover the topic. Okay, let's take this test project blank, which we were working on earlier. So project is being loaded in the system. Okay. So over the right hand side, we see so let's load the package. So when we load the package, we get packages properties on the right hand side. We have it here, right? So these are the package properties. We can configure it from the properties window. They can be set programmatically as well. Now let's come back to the next topic, which is the reuse of or reusing or reuse an existing package as a template. So guys, if we have created any packages, those packages can be used as templates for any newly created packages. Let's mark it with new topic color. Okay, now let's talk about this topic quickly. So packages can be frequently used as templates, right, from which you can build new packages, right? So they can act as templates, and these template packages basically share the basic functionality. So we basically what we create in a template package, we create basic functionality that can be used in any other newly created packages. And basically what we do in order to create a template package, we build the basic package. We build the basic package, and then what do? We then copy it, right? We can make a copy of it to create any new packages, or what we can do, or we can designate this package which has the basic which is a basic package. We can designate that package as a template. We can mark it as a template so that it can be used as a template. Instead of copying the package, we can also mark it as a template. Now let me discuss an example of this. Suppose we have a package that downloads and copies files. First of all, it downloads and copies files, and what it will do, and then extracts the data and may include the FTP and file system tasks, maybe. So we have a package like this in a for each loop that enumerates the files in the folder. So for example, this is a basic package I have given where we are downloading and copying file, then using the information in that files. We have individual records through which we are extracting files out of the SFTP location. So this is an example of a basic package functionality, and maybe it may also include, so these are some of the components, so it may also include any flat file connections managers, right? And to basically flat file connection managers can be used to access data from the flat files. Alright, so connections manager, and it also includes the flat file sources to extract the data, right? And basically the destination of the data varies each time, so we do not generally include the destination in the template package. So basically definition differs every time, and the destination is added to each new package after it is copied from the basic package. So we are not including the destination in the basic package or package template because we think that destination differs each time whenever we create a new package, so we don't include it in a basic package or template package. All right, so this package can be used as a template package, and later on if we create any new packages, we can use this package as a template and just add the destination so that our work will be less. All right, so we can mark this package as a template or make a copy of it, whatever way you like, you can do that. So you can create packages and use them as templates for the new packages that you add to the integration services project. Now let me talk about this. So when a package is first created, maybe when a package is first created, maybe either programmatically. Packages can be created programmatically as well. In addition to manually designing them, we can create them programmatically as well. So when the package is first created, either programmatically or by using the SSIS designer, right, a GUID is added to its ID property. So let me show you that GUID in the Visual Studio environment. So if we go to Visual Studio environment, you see we have a version GUID over here, right? Apart from that, okay, so that's not the one. So the GUID we are talking about here is under the ID section. So whenever a package is created, a GUID is assigned to it. So this is the GUID that is assigned to this particular package. Okay, so I've given you the idea what's it comes under the ID property. So GUID comes under the ID property. Let's go back to notes. So whenever a package is first created, either programmatically or by using the SSIS designer, GUID is automatically added to its ID property and name to its name value, name property, sorry. So this package has a name as well. So if we go here under the properties section, we can check the name as well. What's the name of the package? So we check the ID property, which is here, and below ID property we have a name of the package, which is just package. We can change it whatever we like. We are just talking about the package name, not the GUID ID. So let's move on. I will talk about that. Okay, so let's talk about it further. Now we all know that when a package is created, a GUID and name is added to that package property, right? And if you create a new package by copying an existing package, now let's talk about a scenario. If we create a new package by copying an existing package, right, what happens during that time? Or by even if we are using any template package, or by using a template package, if we are making a copy of the package, what happens at that time? The name and the GUID of source package gets copied as well to the new package that we are creating. Alright. Now this can be problematic in certain scenarios. This can be problematic if the GUID gets copied. Basically in the scenarios if we use logging. Alright, because the GUID and the name of the package are written to the logs. Alright, so GUID information and the name information gets written to the log if logging is enabled on the package, and written to the logs, and this information is used to identify the package to which the logged information belongs. Alright, so in the logs, GUID and name information is published to identify which particular package has logged these entries, right? Therefore, we should update the name of the package. Alright, update the name and also the GUID of the new packages to help differentiate them from the package from which they are copied, from which they were copied or they are copied, whatever. So we should always update the name and GUID of a new package if we are copying that package from an existing package, or if we are using some template package to create a new package. We should also we should always update the GUID and name in the new package. Basically, we do this to differentiate them from the package from which they were copied and from each other in the log data as well. So maybe we have a project having multiple packages with the same name. So yeah, we should update the name and the GUID ID in case we are copying a package. So how do we update the GUID in a package? To change the package GUID, what do? We regenerate a GUID in the ID property, in the ID property in the properties window, right? Window in SSTT also equals our data tools. To just update the package name, we just update the package name in the properties window. But yeah, we can regenerate the GUID. Let's see how we can regenerate the GUID. So there's a drop down over here. So there is an option, generate new ID. If we click on that, it will create a new GUID ID for this package. So let me click on that. So I've just created a new GUID for this package. And similarly, if we want to change the name, we can change the name of the package here. For now, I'm not doing that, but yeah, it can be changed from here. So we should change the GUID of the package as well as the name properties in the properties window. And we can also use the dtutil command prompt utility to update the GUID and the name programmatically. So we can use dtutil command prompt utility to update the GUID and name programmatically. Alright, so guys, we are done with this topic. Right now we have covered the how we can reuse an existing package as a template. We have talked about how you should update the GUID and name property of a new package whenever you copy a package from an existing package, or if you have used the template to create a new package, you should always update the GUID. So guys, we are done with this video as well. In our next video we are thinking about taking you some of the tutorials to create a package and basically give you the know-how, practical know-how of how to work with the SQL Server integration services. So I'm wrapping up this video here. Please stay in tune with us. If you have not already subscribed, or if you are a new subscriber to this channel, please go ahead and immediately subscribe. There's a subscribe button below this video. Click on that subscribe button. It will give you a bell icon. Click on that bell icon, select all notifications to get notifications regarding all my future videos. Also, please guys, post in your comments, suggestions, any requests you can post, and you can also write to me over to my email address as well. It's mentioned over there in the slide, vrmavane@gmail.com. And guys, apart from that, if you have a good network of friends, please go ahead and share my videos with them if they work in SQL domain in their day-to-day life, and also ask them to subscribe to my channel, because we are expanding our network and we need good people like you who are really interested in learning SQL Server. So we need your support and help from your end regarding subscription and watch time on the videos. So watch as much videos as possible for you, and they will be really useful, and these will enhance your life. I thank you so much for your time on this video today, and you have a wonderful day ahead, guys. Thank you.